What's up, you big bodacious bag of buttholes? DenDenBMX here, and today we're going to be talking about guitars, specifically my favorite brand of guitars, ESP LTD guitars. Leave a like for every time I say guitar in this video, but no guitar brand is perfect. Each one of them is going to have their own unique flaws, and in LTD's case, I'd say their one big flaw with their guitars is the names of them. If there is one thing you should not copy from Ibanez, it's the naming system. I remember my first time on ESP LTD's website, I was looking at all those names and I was like,
the numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
But if you are an ESP Eclipse or an LTD EC aficionado, maybe I can help you out today. Because hopefully this video is going to help you differentiate the different sorts of ECs that you can get. Well, it should help you with at least two of the models, because we're only comparing two today. In today's video, we are going to be comparing my LTD EC-1000s to my EC-1000T CTM. Now I'm sure from this view, it's going to look like they're almost identical. Like this one's black, this one's aged white, but other than that, there's probably not that many differences. But you would be surprised. I mean, they are pretty similar in a lot of different ways, and because of those similarities, some people may wonder if they actually really sound all that different. But there are also just as many differences between these guitars. So we're going to look at those in terms of the specs, and then we're going to sit down and play them for a while, look at their pros and cons, compare their criminal records, make them bump uglies, and hopefully you may be a little more edumacated after this video. Because that's really the only reason I'm on here. I want to learn you guys real good. But yeah, I have three LTD EC-1000s, and I wanted to make this little series comparing all three of them against each other. So this video, it's going to be these two against each other, and then the next video, it's going to be one of these guys against a different guitar, and then the last video will be that other guitar against the other one of these guitars I didn't use. I probably worded that in the most confusing way possible, but yeah, as always, thank you guys for all the love and support on all my recent videos. It truly does mean a lot. If you guys go on to enjoy this video or it helped you out at all, let me know and help the engagement on this video by leaving a like, leave a comment, give me your thoughts and opinions, share the video around, spread the knowledge. And if you regularly watch my channel and you haven't already subscribed, I think I understand why your wife left you. All jokes aside, thank you guys so much for helping me get to 16,000 subs, which is just a measly 1,000 away from the ultimate goal of 17,000 subs. And once we get there, I don't even know what's gonna happen. I may lactate, honestly. So if you haven't already and you enjoy the content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You don't have to be afraid of it. It's not gonna hurt you. Go on, hit the little button. Do it! Now before we can get our grubby little paws all over these guitars and start playing and actually hearing the sound differences, let's list off the specs and see what the similarities and differences are there first, and then we'll start playing. The first guitar we're going to look at is Veronica. She is a 2012 LTD EC-1000 in vintage black, and chances are, if you've seen an EC-1000 before, it's probably been one of these. I believe this is the most common and most popular EC-1000 that exists. Why is mine named Veronica? Well, because my grandma was named Veronica. And she bought me this guitar for my birthday the same year that she ended up passing away. Yeah, I've told the story like a million times. I'm not trying to make this video all sad, but that's what happened, and that's why you're named Veronica. Now, this guitar is made out of a mahogany body, a mahogany neck, and a Macassar ebony fingerboard. This guitar has ESP LTD's thin U neck shape, and I think it's the perfect neck shape. It's so comfortable. Now, as we all know, this guitar is LTD's version of a Les Paul. However, the base EC-1000 does not have the same thickness as a Les Paul. It is much thinner. It has a little belly cut. For this particular model, observe that it only has binding on the front, not on the back. Going from the top down, it uses LTD's locking tuners. This guitar has 24 extra jumbo frets on it. Since this is a 2012, it is before they started really carving out the neck joint to make it real smooth. On this one, they just glued the neck and the body together and left it at that. However, since this is thinner than a standard Les Paul, the upper fret access is still quite easy on this guitar. This guitar comes with a Tone Pros locking Tune-o-matic stop bar bridge and tailpiece. And stock, this guitar comes with the standard EMG 8160 set. However, on Veronica, I have swapped out the 8160s for the EMG headset. Now, there's not an enormous difference between the headset and the 8160 set, but if you really want to hear the difference, I have a video video comparing those two that you can go check out after this video. I'll put it up there somewhere. So those are the specs for your average everyday LTD EC-1000. And now this is Ruth. She is a 2022 ESP LTD EC-1000T CTM. Now if you're wondering why I named this guitar Ruth, it's because this guitar is basically the same color as Ruth's hair from Ozark. Now starting off on the specs for this guitar, very similar to the EC-1000, this has a mahogany body, a mahogany neck, and a Macassar ebony fingerboard. However, this guitar also has a maple cap on top of that mahogany body. Now the T in this guitar's name means that it is the same thickness as a traditional Les Paul. Now the CTM in this guitar's name means that it has essentially all of the same visual appointments as a Les Paul Custom. So it has all the same binding on the front of the guitar as the EC-1000 does, but on top of it being full thickness, it also has binding on the back of the guitar as well. This guitar also comes with LTD's locking tuners. It also has the same ESP thin U neck shape, although I think the neck on this one is just a little bit thicker and a little bit more full. Like I really think it just comes down to who sanded the neck. Moving on, just like the EC-1000, the EC-1000T CTM also features extra jumbo sized frets. Now the differences here are that on this guitar, instead of having 24 frets, this one only comes with 22 frets. And the other big difference is that these frets are stainless steel. Another difference is that this guitar has the carved out neck heel joint, so it is still a set neck. They still glue the neck into this body, but then they sand and carve this out real nice so that it still has really, really good upper fret access. Since this is a full thickness model, if they didn't do that, there would be this big giant neck joint right here, and it would make it a little bit harder to get way up here. Thanks to this carved out neck joint, it's quite easy, and it feels very good, guys. This guitar also features Tone Pro's locking Tune-o-matic stop bar bridge and tailpiece. And last but not least, the one big difference between these guitars is that this version does not come with EMGs. This version instead comes with the Fishman Fluence Open Core Classic pickups. The quirky thing about Fishman's, these pickups come with 3 different voicings, both on the neck and the bridge pickup, which can be activated by these here push-pull pots here on the knobs. So those are the similarities and differences between these guitars when it comes to the specs of them. But the most important thing about a guitar is how it sounds. So let's finally plug these two stinky mamas in and let's see what they sound like. Alrighty. So we're gonna start with Veronica. So I've got them plugged both into my Neural DSP plugins, and right now I've got the Gojira one pulled up, and we're gonna start on a pretty low gain sort of tone. And I'm doing that so that when we get to Ruth, you'll be able to hear the 3 different voicings. Because once you get real high gain, 2 of the voicings you can't really tell the difference between. But when you're on like a clean or like a low gain setting, you can hear the differences. So we're gonna start with that just so you can hear that, and then as the video goes on, we're gonna get into higher gain stuff. But I've been yapping for far too long. Let us start recording, and here's what Veronica sounds like. Now let's plug Ruthie in. Now on Ruth, I think the way the pickups are set up is ESP wires them to be on the hottest setting possible in its base form. So I think this voicing is going to be most similar to the headset. So here's what Ruth sounds like on this tone. Now let's go into voicing 2, which is kind of like a straight up standard PAF. And now finally, voice 3 is a single coil sound. So I'm hoping that helps give you a pretty good idea of the voicings for this guitar. So this is still more of a low gain sound, except I put a little bit more dirt onto it. We'll put this one in the middle position. Now we're plugged into Ruth, middle position, voice 1. Voicing 2. And now, the single coil voicing. let's put it on a little bit more aggressive channel. Now before we go crazy and get real stinky with the tones, let's actually put on a clean tone first and doodle around on that. Now for clean tones, I really like it on the neck. I think on bridge, clean tones are just a little too tinny for my tastes, but on the neck... Ooh. Now since I'm wearing a Slipknot shirt, I feel like it would be a little inappropriate if I didn't actually play some Slipknot in this video. So I put both of these guitars in drop D, and then I'm using the transpose feature on the Archetype Petrucci because for some reason they haven't updated the Gojira Archetype to have it. But if you use the transpose feature, it's like down tuning the guitar, so I can do this. Yeehaw, I love technology. Wow, that's crooked. All right, I'm too lazy to fix that. All right, my friends, with that, I think that is going to wrap up the playing demo and conclude today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to Veronica and Ruthie. These are my two #1 guitars. I love both of these guitars, both for their looks, the sentimental value, the playability of them, but my blood's been itching to compare all three of my EC-1000s, and I'm so stoked that I finally have some time to actually be able to do that. Now, I'm really not going to be able to hear the sound difference until I'm editing this video, so go down in the comments and let me know what you guys think. Do they sound different enough to where it would justify to you why you would get more than one EC-1000? Or are they too similar and you think it'd be fine if you just had one? Was there one that you preferred the sound of more? Is there one that you thought sounded better? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. Before I say bye, I want to give a big shout out and a thank you to the current channel members, Cosmic Steez, Yana Kaminsky, A Horse Running, and Jet. Thank you guys so much for the support. It really does mean a lot. If you want to join these guys, get a shout out and help support the channel in a bigger way, you can go down there and click the join button. Tiers start as low as $3. But if joining a membership doesn't sound like something you're interested in, I get it. There is also that super thanks button down there, which is kind of like a little tip jar if you want to monetarily support the channel that way. But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. I really hope you enjoyed. Once again, if you did, let me know and help this video's engagement by leaving a like. Again, leave a comment, give me your thoughts and opinions, let me know what you think. Share the video around, help spread the knowledge. And if you haven't already and you enjoy the content that I put out, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I am on the road to 17K, and I'm only a measly 1,000 subscribers away. Also, you can follow me on Threads and on Instagram at DenDenBMX, but I am done being a tool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.